to be safe, confident and ready.
Further questions? Councillor Cassidy.
Thank you, Chair. My question is to the Lord Mayor. Lord Mayor, in the past, you and your LNP colleagues have loudly supported the Live Like Her Challenge, Homeless Connect and other charity events linked to those experiencing homelessness. But then, last week, you made the call to evict those experiencing homelessness out of Brisbane parks with little warning. You used to say Brisbane is a big city with a big heart. You used to say it was not illegal to be homeless in Brisbane. Lord Mayor, did you have a change of heart, or have you just been good at hiding how heartless you really are?
Lord Mayor.
Well, Councillor Cassidy, I think you'd have to be pretty heartless to allow people to stay in squalid and dangerous tent encampments when there is crisis accommodation available right now. You would have to be...
One moment, please, Lord Mayor. Can you please resume your seat? Members of the public gallery, I remind you that under the conditions of entry and the Council's meeting local law, members of the public are not permitted to call out and interrupt the proceedings of the Council. Members of the public gallery who do not comply with these requirements will be asked to leave or removed from the public gallery. And I remind councillors, Councillor Massey, you are warned. Lord Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. When the homelessness crisis deepened a couple of years ago, we heard very clearly from the state government at the time that there was no crisis accommodation available. And as a result, it was the right thing to do at the time to give people the flexibility to the long-standing local laws that prevented camping in parks. Now, those local laws that prevent...
In the wake of the cyclone, you're making people unhoused.
I've already advised people in the public...
Schrinner?
One moment, please, Lord Mayor. Councillor Massey.
Typical LNP. Shame.
I ask members of the public gallery who continue to call out to immediately vacate the public gallery, please. Councillor Dixon, can I please have a 15-minute adjournment while...
Chair, I move that this council meeting adjourn for a period of 15 minutes or so in accordance with the Chair's order, which commences only when all other councillors have vacated the chamber and the doors have been locked.
Seconded.
It has been moved by Councillor Dixon, seconded by Councillor Givney for a 15 adjournment while the public gallery is cleared. All those in favour say aye. All those... No.
Point of order! Point of order! Order! Point of order, the motion hasn't been moved to the vote. The motion hasn't been moved to the vote.
All those in favour? Aye. Those against, no?
No!
The ayes have it.
Division!
Yeah. A division has been called by Councillor Massey, seconded by Councillor Johnston. Ayes to my right, noes to my left. Please refrain from calling out in the gallery. Clerks, please read the results.
Madam Chair, the ayes have it, the voting being 18 in favour and 8 against.
The ayes have it. The council will clear for 15 minutes. It doesn't matter. Councillor Johnston, you do not take photos in the chamber. Okay. Councillor Johnston. Members of the public gallery, I remind you that under the conditions of entry and the council's meeting local law, members of the public are not permitted to express dissent or disapproval or interrupt proceedings of council. Members of the public gallery who don't comply with these requirements will be asked to leave or be removed from the public gallery. I also remind all councillors that you are not to be speaking while another councillor is on their feet. Lord Mayo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. How much time have I got?
4 minutes.
Okay, great, fantastic. So, as I was saying, when a couple of years ago, when we started first seeing tents appearing in parks, not only in Brisbane but also across southeast Queensland, we were advised by the state government that there was no crisis accommodation available. And obviously, there's been a long period of underinvestment in public and social housing, and it all came to a head in a heartbreaking way. And so, despite the fact that since 1926, not recently, since 1926, it has been not permitted to set up tents in parks, we absolutely decided to make sure that for people that have no other options, that we would take an approach that showed flexibility, and that is exactly what we did. Now, things have changed in a number of ways. Firstly, Some of these encampments have become increasingly violent and unsafe. Not just for members of the public wanting to use their parkland, but for the people in the tent encampments themselves. And this violence is something that's become increasingly concerning. It's something that residents from across Brisbane have been demanding council respond to. And it is something that is of great concern to all of us and should be great concern to all of us. But the second thing that has happened is that state government, since the 1st of July last year, has already invested $400 million into crisis accommodation. Let me say that number again, $400 million. Not 40 million, not 4 million, $400 million into crisis accommodation. There is crisis accommodation available, there are options available, and we know that for a fact. And in fact, just when last week I met with the Minister for Housing, who it was a breath of fresh air, because when I'd met with previous ministers for housing, you know what their response was? One of them in particular, a Labor minister, said, "Why doesn't council use their council-owned caravan parks to house people?" The ignorance there was incredible. We don't actually have any council-owned caravan parks. But for a Minister for Housing to abrogate their responsibility and to put it onto councils, that's what we were dealing with for years and years. Thankfully, we now have a government that wants to make a difference, wants to get people in to accommodation that is available and is prepared to fund it as well.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Councillor Dixon, can you please call for an adjournment? Just one moment.
Chair,
just one moment,
I move
Councillor
that council
Dixon.
now adjourn for a period.
Just one moment. Just one.
Yep.
Have you talked to anyone that works in crisis accommodation? Have you talked to homeless people? No.
Just waiting for the gallery to be quiet.
Turn around and say that people are choosing to sleep in parks.
Okay, Councillor Dixon, can I have an adjournment? I want to, now that we are going to clear all of the gallery, so I ask for an adjournment whilst that is done.
Chair, I move that council now adjourn for a period to enable the chair to remove the public gallery.
Seconded.
It has been moved by Councillor Dixon and seconded by Councillor Gibney for an adjournment of 15 minutes while the gallery is cleared. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Those against no. The ayes have it. Division called by Councillor Cassidy.
Division.
Seconded by Councillor Chongwa. Ayes to my right and noes to my left. Clerks, please read the results.
Madam Chair, the ayes have it, the voting being 19 in favour and 7 against.
Motion is carried. Councillors will now adjourn for 15 minutes while the gallery is cleared. Lord Mayor.